So hey there, this is Akash, and today we are going to deal one of the major topic of AWS, that is one of the major services, that is VPC. No matter wherever you go for the interview, whatever the interview you are appearing for, especially in AWS Cloud DevOps, you're gonna face this question every time. So let's try to break down. Since this is a very vast topic, so I'll be covering in multiple parts. This part I'll be covering basically about the IPs and how do we configure that one. So without wasting any time, let's start. So if you see the full form of VPC, we can come to the conclusion that VPC is a virtual private cloud, but that doesn't make any sense until we go into the depth of this one. So let's take an example. Let me give you a scenario. Suppose there is a company known as a tech crop, okay, and that company presently working in on-premises, means they have a physical server and all, and they want more flexibility, cost efficiency, because maintaining a physical server is very uh, not cheap. Of course, it's gonna cost a lot, and for a startup, it's gonna cost huge. So for that case, if you are going for cloud, then you have to move all your on-premises into the cloud, and that would be an easy task, which will be very flexible and cost effective. But the problem is the technicality got increased. So for that case, one need to have the idea of the VPC. So I have taken the example of that tech crop. Let that be a startup, and they want to move from on-premise to cloud. So what do they require? They require security. They required, suppose they are building any application, so they will be requiring VPN also, data center, database, route table, internet gateway, multiple things they will require. So all those things should be work same like whatever they were doing on premises. So that feature actually VPC provide. So let's, without wasting any time, you must have got a little glimpse of what is VPC. I'll cover more on VPC as we go further into this topic. So let's see how can we create our own VPC. Okay, so this is the console page. Let's try VPC. Okay, so this is the page of VPC. Currently, if you go to VPC and see, you have already a predefined VPC. Now, what does this mean? If you have ever created any EC2 instance on your AWS account, if not, I have made a video on that one. Please go through that one. So let me just show you once. What is the work of this one? Okay. Let's create a duplicate tab. Here I'm going for EC2 instance, just to make you clear why we have this VPC already created by AWS. So when you launch an instance, click on launch instance, what you will see that whatever the instances you are creating on AWS, that is actually coming under one VPC. If you see the last four digit, that is 9EF, and if you see this one 9EF, that means whatever the EC2 instance you are creating, those EC2 instance, they have their own VPC IDs. Okay, so no VP2 instances would be created without VPC. Okay, so let's grow. I'll cover what is this IP4, IP4 CIDR, how we can create. Okay, so let's just give, let this be div underscore crop. Any specific name you can give, doesn't matter. Okay, so this part, basically in this video I'll be covering what is this IP address v4 and what is this CIDR. Okay, so if you see, suppose you have this company and 100 employees working under you. So what you're gonna do, you want there should be a sharing of the data between them, and no other outside the member of your organization should be able to access that one data, and you want the easy accessing data inside your network. So for that, what you're gonna do, you will have to borrow IP addresses. Okay, so for that you will be go for the private IP address. Let's see what is the range of private IP address you can go for. If you want, you can remember, otherwise you can do it. Private. Okay, so here you can see this is the range of private IP addresses, that is 10.0, 10.0.0.0 to this one. Okay, let's pick a simple one. I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, let me make it clear what this IP address actually means. Okay, let's zoom in the font. So the range goes from 192.168.0.0, you can pronounce O as well, okay, to 255.255. That is the maximum range. Okay, if I have to write this one in binary form, you can write, basically you'll have to check for 168 and this. I'll give you the little glimpse. The lowest it can be 0.0.0, whose binary if you will convert, that is 8 times 0.8 times 0 and blah 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 blah, 8 times 0.8, because this is the octal number. Okay, so each digit would be carrying 8 bits. Okay, so overall you have 32 bits of 32 bits of numbers, that is qubit binary bits. Okay, maximum how much you can go? 1.0, 1.1.1. Okay, and that is nothing but 8 times of 1. Okay, zero point 0.8 times of 1, like this you can continue. Okay, in between you have this one. Okay, 192. You may ask what is this 192. So the maximum range in the octal goes from 0 to 255. Okay, so in between you can point 0 to 255, point 0 to 255, point 0 to 255. Okay, so this is the range. So for private, it has been chosen 192.168.0.0. You can have multiple combination. For example, if I take this one, what will be the next IP address? You can go. So the very next IP address will be 1, then 2. In this way, you will continue. Okay. Suppose you reach to 255. Okay, then after 0 to 55, 1 to 55. Okay, in this way. If you reach till here, then the next one would be, this one would be 1 and this one would be 255. Again it can go from 0, then again 192.168, 168.1.1, then again 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. In this way you will again continue. So this is how the IP address decides. Okay, and since you have chosen private, so there are basically three ranges, three range in private, as we have seen. Okay, this is known as a class A, class B, class C. Don't get confused, the range class has been given. Okay, so let's just pick up 192 point. Here it is. Suppose I have chosen this one. Okay, but still this is not complete. Why it is not complete? Because this is not IP address. You do not require IP address, you require IP address CIDR. Okay, what is the meaning of CIDR? Let's see the full form. I too don't know. It's something like common. CIDR, classless interdomain routing. Okay, routing basically means it will point to one of the address. Now how we're gonna make it point? Let's see that one. So basically, if I go down, you must be using phone number. In India, we have actual 12 digit of phone number. The first one, 91 no? Plus 91, yeah, that is the fixed one. So we never type this one. Otherwise, 811. Okay, so this is basically my number. Ah, I shouldn't write the correct one, but anyway, let's see. So this is the number. These 10 number get changed. Okay, you have the accessibility to change this number. Now you can have your own type of number, but this 91 is fixed as long as you are in India. Okay. In the similar case, what CIRDR do? When you have an IP address, suppose I'm picking this one. Okay, when you have an IP address, you want to make it fixed. Suppose let me go with the range. You have 32 bits now. Let me write the complete. Just give me time. I'll just do. Okay. So what do I want? I want till here things will be fixed, and rest too, which means 192.168 should be fixed, and these two should get changed. Means I have the liberty to change this too. Since this contain 8 plus 8, that is the 16 bits, so you have the liberty to change 16 bits. So what I'm gonna do, I want a liberty to change 16 bits, so I'll write 16. Means last 16 bits I can change this to 0.0. Okay, if you have a member in your company like suppose this one 100 members. Okay, so for that how many IP addresses you require? 100 IP addresses you require. So you can select the range between 0 to, what do I want? I want a range from this, the last one I want only 0 to 255, this one. So in that case you will be choosing 24. Okay, I want the liberty to choose 24. Means the last digit, this one, would be in your hand. Whatever the way you want to uh, go, whatever the range you want to set, you can. Even though you have the chances, or you have the accessibility to 0 to 255, still you can go, if and 100 is of course below 255, so you can choose /24. So that will make your complete IP address with CIDR. Okay, I hope you got some idea. How do we? There is a private IP address, public IP address too. If you want to see the public IP address and private IP address, you can see public IP address range. Okay, so you can see this is the public IP address range. You can see this is completely different. And there we were having 192.168.0.0, whereas here we are having 192.0.0. Yeah, like that. So in the similar way, if you have any confusion, do let me know. I'll create a separate video again for this one. But I hope it get clear. Whatever the IP address 24, 16, 8, okay, that you can give. You can even give 0 also. That's completely fine. Now we are having range has been increased, because if you see, you have the range up to 2 to the power 32. Okay, how do we get that one? You have the range of 2 to the power 32. Up till here range, you can do your permutation and combination in the similar way, because we have 0 or 1, so we can get the maximum combination of 2 to the power 32. And that's why if you want to increase the more combination, because the devices are getting rapidly increasing day by day, so that's why they have introduced IPv6. Okay, which contain more range. Okay, I'm not going deep into that. IPv6. Okay, rest of the settings, let it be default. Okay, and just click on create VPC. Okay, now you can go to your VPC, and you can see your VPC is available. Now you have to set up your EC2 instance, EBS, and the rest of the services on this one. Whether it is S3 bucket, DynamoDB, everything you can set up on this one. Okay, all of them will be having a separate IP address, and no one from outside could able to access this one, because your IP address is the private one. So that's all for this video. The very next part I'll be releasing soon, which will be based on how we can set up EC2 instance on your VPC, and more about the theoretic part as well, because this is very complex topic. Okay. Thank you so much for your patience. If you like, do like. Okay. Mention any comment. All the comments are welcome. I'll be happy to take your feedback, no matter whether it is positive or negative. Thank you so much for this video.